Good afternoon, Lagos. My name is Oluwatosin Balogun, and yes, like Miss Tomi Falade said, I'll be reading the news this afternoon. So we'll be starting with Moji Afolayan, a seasoned Nollywood actress. She made a bold revelation on live television, claiming she was blacklisted for refusing to exchange sexual favors for movie roles. She alleged that while many of her colleagues engage in such practices, she chose to stand her ground, even at the cost of losing opportunities.
I think that we are going to have an opinion poll in Nollywood to talk about those who have experienced the sex for role requests and those who have never even heard of it. Because we had a guest last week that said that he didn't know anything about it and he doesn't think it happens. That it usually is the women that are offering themselves up. So if someone like Moji Afolayan is coming out to say, and she's not a baby in this industry,
Definitely.
if she's coming out to say that she was blacklisted for refusing to exchange sexual favors for movie roles, then it will be that there's some truth to it. There's a lot of truth to it, and I'm happy for her that she did not engage in it, because look where she is now. She's at least made a name for herself. Yes, she's not been as in our face as one would expect actually, but she's made a name for herself and she's doing well in the industry. So kudos to her for doing the right thing, and we hope that a lot more people follow that same trend and stick to what is right and what is fair at all times. We also want to welcome Mr. Baron into the studio. He's a little late because of Lagos traffic, and I know he's going to give us his apology as expected.
Apologies, listeners. Apologies.
Okay. All right, moving on. Victorian actress Ngozi Ezeonu has come under public scrutiny following claims by her ex-husband, Edwin Ezeonu. In a recent interview, Edwin alleged that Ngozi left their home without notice, taking their children with her. He claimed that although he supported her acting career, she made no financial contribution to the family's upkeep. He added that they are officially divorced and asked that she stop using his son name.
I don't have much to say about how their household was run, because whatever they decide, whatever works for them. I'm always an advocate for, if it is the woman that's bringing money, no problem. If it is the man that is bringing money, no problem. If it is both of them that are bringing money, no problem. However it works for you, it's fine. But what I have a problem with is a man coming out to say that he does not want a woman to use his name anymore. You have given her that name. She has made a name with that name. And then you now insist that she drops your name because you are divorced. Yes, you can ask. But if it is not convenient for the woman to go and do a name change, that's why women come out now and say that, okay, no matter how much love they have for their husband in marriage, they are not going to change their names. I understand it. Because when you have gone ahead to achieve a lot with your husband's name, and then because there's bad blood between both of you, someone else says you must drop that name and change your identity again. I don't think it's fair to the woman. I don't know what went wrong in their marriage. I wasn't privy to when the marriage was happening. I think Baron will have a better insight into the time that they were married, because Baron is an industry legend. But my own is that you cannot insist that someone change their identity because you are no longer okay with sharing your name. If you knew that you had that stance, you people would have signed an agreement to say that, okay, if this marriage goes sideways, you are going to drop my name. You cannot insist. It's a change of identity. I don't agree with it, but that's me.
So it's different. So it's different strokes for different folks. Ngozi Ezeonu. That's it. Not Ngozi. It's Ngozi Ezeonu. So I'm surprised, that this is happening. She's such a woman who has carried herself so well and has had a wonderful career. I mean, she's one, even when most of her colleagues then had stain and dent on their career, most especially the alliances with men, she was focused, because I knew her as being married. She became married when she was in the industry.
As I said.
But again, I think it depends on, like you rightly said, it depends on the arrangement they have. And come to think of it, you are just trying to be more Western than some of us here. How many people go into that conversation of signing an agreement to drop names? Only the Western world will do that. We've had people who voluntarily left their husbands, or the marriage went south and they had to part ways, and they reverted back to their name. So the man wanting his name would not take the stardom out of the woman. I mean, Chioma Akpotha used to be Chioma. We knew her as Chioma Chukwuka. She got married and became Chioma Akpotha. But when the marriage went south, she returned to her.
But Baron,
there's Faithia Balogun. Yes. Everybody knew her as Faithia Balogun. But now she's Faithia Williams. She wants to be known as Faithia Williams.
She had so much fame that a name change wouldn't affect her brand.
That's what I'm saying.
So if, for example, the name change would affect your brand, nobody can insist that you change that name.
Ngozi Ezeonu would not have a problem with her identity, even if the man collects, quote unquote, his name. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It would only take a while for the fans and for some of us to figure it out.
Okay.
Once she insists that every producer must use a maiden name with her name. You know, it's just a face. Oh, she's this one. Oh, she's the no. As
who happens to official documents in that time?
There are a lot of examples. A lot of examples who have left their marriage or whose marriage didn't work out.
But I think it's unfair to the woman.
So
honestly,
again, when it comes to marriage, I'm always skeptical because a lot of people will say things, but only those who are involved can actually tell us the true story. Just like we discussed last week, only those involved can tell us the true story. If you are in marriage, you would know what I'm talking about. People will see it differently from outside, but only the two of you, and probably maybe your children, if you both were careless enough, to let it become obvious to the children. Maybe the children would also have an insight into what is going on. But aside from those parties, I doubt if anybody can tell. Well, she might be the one on the wrong side here, and that's why the man is
which is why I said
asking
I don't know
for
what
his name. But in my own opinion, what would the name do? If you ask back for your name, would it make you Nnamdi?
I didn't even know the man. Nobody knew the man.
No, would it make it Edwin Ezeonu raised to power 2 or what? What exactly? I'm trying to understand what. Then he came out with all this. I feel it's been petty. Yeah. For whatever reason, he might be the victim here, but I feel it's been petty. African men are known to withhold things and. Yes, they said men should speak out these days because of abuse and all that, but must you come out? Nobody knew your marriage was troubled until you came out with all this. So what is the aim, behind you bringing, just because you want her to drop your name? It's something you can tell your lawyer to write to her. She will drop it. Kiss Daniel was asked to drop his name from his... he's still the Kiss Daniel. Everybody call him Kiss Daniel, mind you. Nobody calls Kiss. Everybody calls Kiss. Kiss Daniel is Kiss Daniel. Do you understand? So name dropping would not make or mar anyone's career. It won't. I think the individual who is the popular face is the person who can make or mar his or her career. In my opinion, the man is just pretty petty.
All right, moving on. Abayomi Alvin, Nollywood actor, has opened up in an emotional video about the silent struggles he's facing in the industry. In a touching interview, he tearfully revealed how he has been betrayed and sidelined by close colleagues, leaving him hurt and isolated. His story has sparked concern on social media, drawing attention to the harsh realities actors often endure behind the scenes.
That didn't even come across to me. Like, again, what we see on social media, it's befuddling to say the least. And I'll tell you why. Who would have thought Alvin was going through anything? This is a man who looks good every time. He's always appearing good. His skits are funny. And his skits is always there. Who would have known he's going through all this? Again, somebody was telling me when I had discussion with a friend. And the friend said, what if this guy is just trying to draw attention
to himself?
Again, it's the world we now live in. People do things as silly as that. I'm not saying for sure that's what's happening, but when you have conversations, you look at the pros and the cons. You never can tell. The guy was like,
it might just be that he's not getting enough
exactly, and if
he's just thinking, you forgot email.
Since it's emotional blackmail that raised now, or sentimental ways, then let's give it to them.
And then people remember, this guy, let's remember him in our next let's remember him the next time we are casting. So it might just be that. Or
but again, if he's actually going through what he said, only God will be his strength.
Amen. So the Association of Movie Producers, AMP, led by President Dr. Queen Blessing Egbeson. A big guessing, has extended an invitation to all Nollywood professionals for an EFCC-sponsored sensitization program scheduled for Friday, July 18, 2025 at the Colonnades Hotel, Ikoyi, Lagos. The event aims to raise awareness and foster dialogue on eliminating economic and financial crimes within the industry. Industry stakeholders are encouraged to participate and can register by sending their names and email addresses to the contacts provided.
I think
For a change.
I think it's a good one for a change because I remember when we were discussing the fact that everybody is a Nollywood producer. Everybody, once they produce 1 or 2 films, not make the film, just produce. Drop the money for the film. The person is a Nollywood producer. So when that person now commits a crime or the person is arrested for one thing or the other, but the headlines say Nollywood producer, and so everybody thinks that Nollywood, it's only criminals that are there. So it's a good thing that the EFCC is trying to partner with the AMP to ensure that movie practitioners and filmmakers understand what is right and how to. I'm sure it's mostly based on finances, because when you are sourcing finances for your film, sometimes if someone comes to you with money, that use this money, I have this money. We don't know if it's laundering, if it's legal cash, if it is. You don't know if the person just has a good heart or an angel investor. You don't know. So sometimes, just to avoid trouble, it's good for this kind of initiatives to come into play so that you know what to look out for as a film producer or as a filmmaker, and know that you are working on the right side of the law. But
again, I think it's a discussion that needs to be heard and had. It's been there a long time. People have different opinions, and because we are in a peculiar country, people we behave and act in a peculiar way. Some will tell you, is that EFCC's job? Let them go and look for those who are stealing Nigerians' money, those who are money laundering. Forgetting that when you make a film, irrespective of what the film is teaching, when you make a film financed by somebody who is a fraudster or somebody who has embezzled government money, to run a film, you are aiding the person. Basically, that is what the law says. But again, who are literally eroding the industry, I would like to refer to them as financiers. They are not producers. They're just financiers, because they don't do jack on the set.
So what's the difference between a financier?
So the person that brings the money.
Okay.
A producer ensures the entire production, from casting to auditioning to the choice of director. It's the powerhouse. It's necessarily not even the writer of the story.
Yeah.
But is the person, or she is the person who brings everything together to make it what it will become, a film. And the producer's job does not end with just dropping the funds. There's something called post-production.
Yeah.
The producer is still there.
And the marketing and the
marketing, placing in the platforms to view this. Is it going to be a streaming platform? Is it going on cinema? Is it just going straight to on demand? Or these are the jobs of the producer. The financier don't do all that.
And the producer is also the one that suggests it for awards and
film
festivals and things like that.
Exactly.
So in movies, right, in credits, we see executive producer and we see producer. So what's the difference?
So sometimes the executive producer is the same as the producer. Sometimes the executive producer is also the financier.
That's it.
Sometimes.
But
not all the time. So that's why those roles are clearly defined. But usually we don't have the credit to financier of the film. So usually it's just thought that, okay, the executive producer is the financier of the project. But it's very important to define these lines.
Exactly.
Because when you don't define them, when somebody comes, let's assume that EFCC comes to your set and says that they want to arrest the person, that the money that they're using to do that, they track this money.
And they have to stop the shoot.
Yeah, and they
have the right.
Money.
The law gives them that. They will stop the shoot.
If they stop,
because it's the money. It's the fund from illicit. I mean, what if the funds are just funds using to launder money for the person or for the people, to aid terrorism, or quite a lot of things. Somebody defrauds a white man, or the one they call Yahoo, and makes a killing,
ton of money,
maybe $400,000. You know how much that will be in naira, and just wakes up and says, "Oh, I need to rival this Funke Akindele. How do I launder this money? I'll rival Funke Akindele. I'll put my film in cinema in December and use all the big stars." And you expect that person, you just put the person's name, executive producer.
And then when anybody Googles that person's name, before they remember that the person is they see that it's Nollywood. These Nollywood people, they are criminals. That's the next thing.
If you look out for most film industries outside Nigeria, outside Nollywood, you find out that those credits, there are times there are people's name, there are times there are organizations.
Yeah.
So what happens is, look at those films critically and check out those names. You find out that those people are movie inclined. They've been executive producing because they are probably the owner of a particular studio, or they are blah blah. So they are in the film industry.
Yeah.
It's not just somebody
A random
who
person.
sells videotape or something and feels because that qualifies him to become a film person. You know, things seem to be put in order. Yeah, and honestly, I feel
targeted actually when you say videotapes.
well. They, I mean, don't let us go there. Don't let us go there.
Let's redefine. Let's
Don't
redefine.
don't let us go
We
there.
need to bring this conversation
No,
back
serious.
into the
Because,
industry.
no, you can't say because you are selling what's it called now? You're selling instruments,
VHS.
VHS or DVD player, and you
Yeah.
feel, oh, I'm a movie person. How in God's name are you? How? I don't get. You know, but again, I think it's a good move.
one by
And I would want to appeal to all industry players, those with mind against this EFCC thing looking into the industry. I want them to have an open mind to it. If you're not doing anything shady, if you're not, there was a time it was NDLA on Nigerian film people. It was NDLA. It was big. We can't forget. I mean, God bless the soul of Babaswe. We can't forget his episode with NDLA. So there was a time, and truly we had two Nigerian star actor and actress who went to jail after they were caught. You know, so these things don't just happen because these people are just torchlighting the industry. Some people would have given them that reason, you know, to torchlight the industry, and I think it's just for the best. Now people know better not to either traffic or get involved with people who traffic drugs or some criminal people that has to do with drugs. They know better. If as popular as they are, if somebody who's a drug baron or something invites them, you will hear, I'm not available, I'm actually not in Nigeria. Because they don't want to be caught with such. You know, and that is what EFCC is doing. I honestly feel EFCC is still patting Nollywood at the back. If EFCC go hard on Nollywood and get one or two people arrested,
away from the Naira abuse thing,
I swear to God Almighty, you will see how people will sit up. People will sit up. But you know, Nigerians will say, oh, what has the government done for the industry? What has Tinubu done for Nollywood? Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they keep on I mean, it's funny. It's funny. We'll get there. Definitely a good one. Definitely a good one by here. I feel the AGN should also follow suit. NFBCB is working closely with EFCC and doing a lot. I feel other agencies and other bodies in the industry should work with EFCC if they don't have any skeleton in their cupboard. If you don't have skeleton in your cupboard, I don't think it's a big deal doing anything with EFCC.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Nollywood actress Empress Njama shared reactions online after turning down a surprise marriage proposal from a close male friend. In a video shared on Instagram, she said, G no dey marry G, making it clear. Okay, G no dey marry G, making it clear she values friendship over romance. Her honesty and emotional maturity has drawn widespread praise.
Interesting.
Honesty.
Interesting.
Honesty. Honesty.
I don't know what to say, but I want to be sure if she was close to Timaya those years.
Hey,
I don't know, you know.
Shake up tables.
I don't know. We are grown people. I don't know to understand.
G, you know they marry G. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
And there's a lot of honesty in this, as has been said. I don't know what that honesty means. I don't know what the emotional maturity means. But she said, G, you know they marry G. Let's take it at that.
That's why she didn't end up in.
Let's take it at that.
Maya's home.
Baron, let's take it at
G, no, they marry G. True. Baron. Your memory is too long. You have to be letting things go. It's not everything you remember. I just feel, I don't know, maybe people just tend to forget things easily, or they do things thinking that people who are watching
will forget.
Don't just have that memory. You know, I mean, most times I'm surprised. I just, okay. Is it not you?
Let's just take it at that, at face value. G know they marry G.
Weekly.
Period.
And why did social media need to be aware of this?
So that is
why did we need to be aware?
I keep telling people that you come online and open yourself up to people. And then what is supposed to be done in the confines of your room or the confines of your heart or your mind, you spill it out on social media. When people now use it against you, You now start crying foul. You brought it to the public space for crying out loud. You have no reason. That conversation, I can't understand why I should be impressed or aware. I don't know. If you were telling me,
in case you're not a G,
you know what
you're interested in this G.
You know what?
I want to marry
you know,
G.
the possibility that you have a new film or you featured in a new film and you love, your role and all that, and you put it on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy with that.
But
If you say you found love and you show us your man,
Aww.
I'm happy with that.
don't worry, we're at it.
Or your woman, I'm happy with that. But when you start telling me that, oh, you broke up with this person, or that's why you left this person because this person is sleeping with other actresses, or G, no, they married G, or I'm like, why do I need to know? Why okay, you want us here to have that discussion? It's fine. Now we are talking about it. We don't agree. G, no,
But
they
the
married
most
G.
important thing
Because I
is
don't get it.
G, no, they marry G.
No, it's understandable. It's understandable.
That's all I can take away from this.
Quote of the year.
But before we wrap up the news, I think that we should talk about the Big Brother season 10 that is happening this month. I think on 26th and 27th, starting 26th and 27th July. So I think we are going to have a double entry this year. Barrod.
So I know Big Brother is happening again this year, and when we this industry, this film industry, like I said earlier on, I mean, we are just peculiar people. So some will come and say, some bodies in the industry will come and say, no, we cannot be accepting all these Big Brother people. They cannot be, because
There has to be a common entry place.
No, they have found that Nollywood is the only place they can go after that show. Blah blah blah. They cannot act, and I'm like, fine. Not all of them will be fantastic
Of course
actors.
not.
We know people who call themselves actors now, and they are sham when they act. We know them, But even at that, we still let them be. So when you are saying that everybody, multi-choicers or the organizers of Big Brother, you've turned Nollywood to the dumping ground.
For Bibi Naija stars.
Where would you put Toby?
Where would you put?
Where would you put
Bisola,
Bisola?
yeah.
Bisola was even acting before.
These are fantastic
Achalugo,
actors.
Bam Bam.
These are Bam Bam is there. So these are fantastic actors. So you will say because they participated in Big Brother Nigeria,
They do not
they
deserve.
cannot act. So what is the entry point? We've asked this question a couple of times, and nobody has been able to give us something tangible.
There's no common entry point.
There's no common entry point.
And so if Big
If
Brother
there is a
is
common
back,
entry point, and these people have gone through that, and they failed, it is a different thing. Now let me tell you the most interesting part when people talk about these things. So if I wake up tomorrow and I say I want to make a film and I want to act in it, who is going to stop me?
Nobody.
well,
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why do people now take a whole lot of these Big Brother people and those
And stick them in their films.
skits and put them in their films to sell? Why? If they don't have that number, quote and unquote, I don't know the research that has shown that they have the numbers, but those that use it, it works for them. But I feel if they don't,
Messi,
if they don't
for example, I
that
never
much,
thought Messi could act
You get-
until I saw her in
Shanty Town.
I didn't even think she could pull it off, and then I saw her, and she was good. She was an addition to the film. So
for me, I think people should just be happy and watch Big Brother, so that they can see their next star, or the next person that will give you sales in cinema, or views on YouTube, or numbers on Netflix, and so have you. If not, you're on your own. No.
Thank you very much, and that will be all on news for today.